everyone, and welcome to another episode of Good Time Gal. I'm your host, Caitlin Peluffo. Thank you for listening or watching or whatever you're doing to consume this. Clipping? No. I'm sorry. Anyway, welcome to the show. I'm your host. I love you so much. Today on the podcast, we have Liz Glazer, which is so exciting. Liz Glazer is on the podcast. We talk about everything. It's very fun, very silly. What a little head case. I love a head case. And then my head case came out and we were two head cases sitting here. It's very fun. Enjoy it. You can follow her at Liz Glazer, LizGlaser. Zer. Caitlin, you POS, huh? Not within the first 10 seconds. But we had a great time. Liz is great. You're going to love the episode. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. If you want to come see me live, please connect to my link tree, which is just below, somewhere in my Instagram, at Caitlin Peluffo. I have a link tree link there. Please click on it. Come to a show. I'm going to Irvine, Oxnard, Cincinnati, other places. Wow, why is this the hardest part? Canada. I'm going to Canada twice. I'm going to Winnipeg and I'm going to Montreal. I'm getting the coasts covered, baby. But yes, come on out. Come see a show. It would be great. I would love to see your pretty faces there. And but mostly just follow me on Instagram. 73, baby. 73. Trying to get to 75. Oh my God. Is there a sadder thing you've ever heard? Thank you again for watching and subscribing. I hope you have a wonderful holiday, or maybe this came out afterwards. I hope you had a great holiday. And that's it. I think that's it. Fonzie? That's it. Bye. Oh my goodness, Liz Glazer, how's it going?
Peluffo, it's good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for bringing your at-home coffee.
Yeah, I mean, because it takes me a long time to drink coffee.
Got it.
And really, maybe anything.
Yes.
But it's like
she's a slow sipper.
I am.
Okay.
And so if I've made it,
okay,
then I want to use it finishing it. And so I had it in the car. And then I was like, because then if I left it in the car, and this is not about anyone in particular, but if I leave a drink, I'm going to assume it's roofied upon return.
Even in your own car.
Well, because I had to get a garage. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not about anyone in particular. It's just like, and it's not about assuming ill intent. It's just like some people, I imagine, might find it thrilling to pop in a roofie.
To just mess up your day.
I guess.
Yeah, I want nothing from you, but just like, hey, have fun on
like,
that
who
ride.
knows? And it's like, if I drank it, would I think this is the way that I continue to be a lawyer, is like, I still think about these scenarios. Is like, if I drank it, did I assume the risk that it was somewhere I wasn't there?
What a terrifying way to live life.
I guess. Yeah. You wouldn't think that?
No.
Really?
I would be like, well, that stays there because if I bring it inside, I will leave it there and then I will lose a mug.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a leaver.
Right. Yeah. I might.
You're a roofer. I'm a leaver.
Yeah. I guess I'm a roofie.
Roofie, yes.
Right. Roofie-y.
Yeah, you're not roofie.
Yeah. No. I mean.
Not yet. Never say die.
I guess. Yeah. Totally.
Someone might be into it. You never know.
You never know.
Please. I'm sorry. Just thought of all of them. I'm sorry.
Has anyone ever roofied a coffee?
A coffee?
Just straight coffee.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you can nowadays, huh? You could roofie candy.
Yeah.
You roofie anything.
Totally.
I bet people have dropped like LSD in coffee and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to take that risk.
No.
So this coffee is just oat milk and coffee.
That's nice.
Yeah. And it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm being real.
Yes.
You know, like, it's not amazing. Yours is probably really good.
No, it's I'm on a diet.
Okay.
Down 13 pounds, Fonz.
Wow.
Getting shredded.
Yeah.
That's the goal. I'm not trying to be thin. I'm trying to fucking get jacked.
Yeah, that's a fun goal.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to be scary.
Yeah, okay. Because what's the motivation?
Motivation is to just be yoked and terrifying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to walk down the street and people be like, oh. You know,
I might anyway.
Yeah. That's what I want. That's what I want to be able to. I want to be able to do a pull-up. That's where it all started.
Oh.
I have this thought that, okay, well, here's my crazy. Okay. I think that one day I'm going for some reason, I've seen so many action movies. I'm
Yeah.
like, one day I'm going to be hanging off a bridge.
Yes.
And the only way I'm going to survive is if I can lift myself up.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to be hanging there and be like, I didn't do pull-ups. And I'm not going to be able to lift
Oh.
myself up. And I'm going to die like Mufasa.
Wow. Is that
Yes.
how Mufasa died?
Well, he was hanging and then his son
Okay.
was like, don't let go.
Oh,
And
sure,
then Scar was
sure,
like,
sure. Oh, wow.
"Ah!" It was a
Yeah.
whole thing.
Right.
But I just want to be able to hold on.
Right.
So
But
that's where this
also-
started.
Okay. But like when you were saying it, I was imagining you in a movie
Mhm.
of that. So I don't know if that's
Yeah.
like part of the vision.
I don't know if I'll ever be in an action movie.
Wouldn't that be fun though? Like, cause you're
Great.
really funny and like, are
Stop.
there action heroes who are women in a movie who are funny? I don't know. I posed the question. I'm not a person who
All
has
right.
like
Chelsea
film
Handler,
knowledge.
get on it.
Right?
Okay?
Yeah, but I'm saying that's a great,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that would be fun. A little
It would
action
be so
stuff.
fun. I would watch that.
Well, we're halfway through the journey. Okay. We're actually
Yeah.
a third of the way
Okay.
through the journey. I am.
Okay, got it.
I have 3 months of this getting shredded.
Got it.
Thing. I'm having.
Okay.
I have a personal trainer and a nutritionist.
Wow.
She's the same person.
Okay.
Sounded so impressive, and I was like, "No, it's just one
No,
bitch."
I mean that's impressive for her.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so I have her for 3 months,
Okay.
and so I'm literally eating 1,600 calories a day,
Okay.
150 grams of protein a day,
Oh wow.
and so
That's hard.
this is almond milk with a little cinnamon on it.
Oh.
Almond milk latte with cinnamon.
And the cinnamon is like just to make it go down easier, or does it have powers?
It makes me think of Christmas.
That's nice.
That's it. That's all it is. I love Christmas.
I love Christmas too. I love it so much. Well, I was saying I'm Jewish and
Mhm.
Christmas is my favorite holiday. I think number one, because it doesn't have any attachment
Mhm.
to like any trauma or, I mean, not like there's huge trauma.
Oh,
Well, I
there's
guess-
tons of trauma.
Well, for me, Thanksgiving has trauma
Oh, I
because
see.
one year at Thanksgiving, and it was fine, but my dad had to have emergency gallbladder
Oh.
taking out surgery from Thanksgiving dinner. And after that, like Thanksgiving just never got its groove back.
Did he die?
No.
Oh.
I mean, he's dead now, but
Oh, okay.
something else.
Something else got him in the end.
Roofies.
Yeah.
No, he died
That's
of
why I keep my cup with me at all times.
No, he died of heart disease, but he had it for 40 years.
Oh, wow.
So he died at 73.
That's great.
Yeah, and it was,
That's,
no,
wow, okay.
but you're not wrong. Because like most of my memories
Mhm.
of my dad are of him thinking he was gonna die,
Mhm.
like right away.
Ah, I
And
see.
so when he lived until 73, like once he was
Mhm.
like in his 70s, I'm like, you kept saying you were gonna die at
Yeah.
like 55 or whatever. So anyway, but that's part of the reason I was asking about the motivation because
Mhm.
when it's not just when he died, but like my whole life, my dad had bad health in some
Mhm.
way.
Yeah.
And also I was like going through my family history as you do, like with doctors and I guess maybe nutritionists and trainers, even if
Mhm.
they're the same person,
The
You
same
might.
person. Sydney.
you might like, they ask you about like your family history, I
Mhm.
guess. I don't know.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Well, she did.
Oh, she
I
did.
can't remember.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
all a blur.
I mean, right. But like in those types of
Mm-hmm.
situations, I've always thought until recently that I had like a bad family history because a lot of like grandparents died early,
Mhm.
but they died of preventable stuff.
Ah.
And so now I'm like, okay, well, I want to have better health,
Yes.
So anyway, that's why I was asking. I've been lifting.
Oh.
Yeah. There's like this gym near me. I have the most confusing trainer, I think, in
Yeah?
the entire world.
Confusing how?
Well, he's super Southern. And
oh boy.
as a result, has a drawl and I guess a vibe that's like so relaxed. I'm like,
Mhm.
like he could be asleep at any moment.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, well, you could lift if you want. Like I'm like, Evan, what?
Yeah.
So, but I like that because I don't do well with overt pressure,
Yeah.
See,
that's where I thrive.
Really?
Tell me I'm a fat little piggy and
Really?
I will lift, baby.
Ha.
Although she doesn't do that. She's like,
Yeah.
follow your dreams.
Right.
you
Yeah,
want
yeah.
this, you can do it.
Right.
We're all in it together.
Well, that's nice. I
Yeah.
like that.
It's funny whenever, because she's also my boxing trainer. So when we
Oh.
box, she'll tell me I
Oh.
do a good job and I'll mess up immediately. And I was like, tell me I'm bad. And she's
Wow.
like, I can't do that. And I was like,
Interesting.
and then one time she was like, come on, you piece of shit. And I was like, here I go. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Wow.
I need someone. Well, I grew up playing sports pretty
Yeah.
competitively.
Right.
So if I'm not being told I'm doing a bad job, there's nothing to fix.
Sure.
So.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I go to
Okay.
therapy.
Yeah, me too.
I go to
17 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, same therapist.
Oh.
I told that to my brother. He's like, that itself is the disease.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If I didn't see an end game, I would probably never go to therapy.
See, I don't want an end game.
Oh really?
Yeah. I'm like, I worry about her dying.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but that's like my thing.
Yeah.
That's like, if I love you, it's like a split second until I'm like, please don't die.
Yeah, you're like, did you bring that coffee from home?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I was going to ask, but I figured you had bought it.
Yeah. We just moved down to every other week. I've been going with her for 2 years, and now we're going to every other week. And I'm like, oh, there's an end in sight. This feels great.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping one more year, and then I could be like, peace out.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I also came in with hard things I wanted to fix.
Got it.
And one of them was drinking. I had to figure out the drinking situation.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So what'd you do?
I'm sober-ish.
Yeah.
Like I don't drink. I
Right.
used to drink every day.
Okay.
And now I drink weddings.
Yeah.
You know, like
Sure.
I've really toned down.
Yeah.
Last night I really wanted a glass of wine. I did Mateo Lane's advice special. I opened it.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was so
Yes.
fun. It was
Yeah.
a little stressful because it's improvised, and whenever
Right.
anything's improvised, you're like, oh God, how's this gonna go?
Sure.
And it went well. It went
Great.
great. He killed.
Yeah.
And then afterwards we were all hanging out, and I was
Yeah.
like, I want a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And then I had to fight. I had raspberries instead.
Oh, wow.
Oh, who am I?
Right.
But I was regular this morning, so that's great.
Yeah.
Raspberries full of fiber, just for you to know.
Sure.
Yeah, very
That's
important.
great.
Very important.
Yeah. I love a good poop.
Hence the coffee. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
totally.
with you.
Yeah. Well, because I don't do like anything anymore. And I used to do stuff like, I don't mean to be cryptic, like just drinking, drugs, whatever. Stopped.
Yeah.
It's been January, I think it'll be 6 years.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you've stopped for a long time.
Yeah, I guess.
Good
I mean,
for you.
sure. But I don't like, I don't have I don't know. Sometimes I feel a distance with the narrative around sobriety that I've observed in other people, like in meetings or whatever, where it's like, I'm an addict, something's wrong with me, I give myself over, and now because of the cult, I'm better.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
You don't attract to that.
No, I'm not attracted to that. Like, I'll go to an AA meeting every now and then. I have nothing against it, I guess, but like I stopped because I journal every day. And I noticed that I was journaling about the night before. A lot of days. And the night before was like, I drank, I smoked weed, I did whatever drug or whatever it was. And I would journal about regret. And I was like, at the very least, if I quit, I think I could journal about something more interesting and I could get to some like deeper level or whatever. I don't know that I have, but I stopped doing the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I just think about people roofing my coffee.
Yes. Just now you don't want to be out of control.
Yeah.
That's how scared
Yeah.
you are of being out of control. You're afraid some person who's parking
Very
your
fair.
car in a
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, oh well, let's fuck your day up.
I know.
Yeah. That's
Well,
fun, though.
yeah. And I mean, it's not about the person, which makes me sound like my mother. It's the other cars on the road.
Yes. No, I get it. So what did you used to do?
Well,
And when did it start?
sure. I mean,
Were you a bad kid? So many questions.
not really.
Pick one and go with it.
So yeah, I mean, I remember the first drink I ever had.
What's your favorite color? Okay, go
Blue.
ahead.
Okay. I remember that. That actually is a triggering question for me specifically because in 1986, I had a Reading Rainbow audition.
Very exciting.
Okay. It was exciting. But I have stage fright. And this is something that I've started talking about on stage. Like my first ever memory is on stage. I was in a ballet recital and I hadn't been paying attention for ballet because I was in the class, whatever. My mom was like, you can have ice cream after ballet. So I did ballet. Didn't know there was going to be a recital. Was not prepared. Was nervous about that. Then learned what I was supposed to do, which was like walk around in one of two circles on the stage, like holding hands with the other girls. And I was like, that show's going to suck. I'm even more nervous. And so I just stood in the middle of both circles of girls and cried. And
and now you're a sad cloud.
I guess, but like, it's like, I feel like everything in my life is somehow making up for that moment, you know, and being like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. I feel like I just wanted to talk to the audience and be like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, what do you like this?
You like
know?
to see us spin? You fucking creeps.
Right.
Huh?
Totally.
What is this?
Yeah. So, but the drugs that I did, I mean, so the first drink I ever had was a Zima.
Ooh,
You know Zima?
Oh, I know a Zima.
Really?
Yeah, the precursor to Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Right. And I had it at like a camp friend's house.
Okay.
And I think I may have also had a cigarette, like in that same.
Bad bitch.
But it was like I was over at someone's house.
How old were you?
Maybe 14.
Goodness.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it was probably around then.
Yeah.
And then I didn't for like ever.
Yeah.
You know, and then it was prom is really the next time I remember drinking. And I remember I took a bottle of water, filled it with vodka, and I didn't know that like you don't have to have as much vodka as you have water in order to have the effect.
Oh boy, yes.
And so I was like barfing all over prom and whatever. I remember my prom date, who's still a close friend, called me the next day and was like, you're an alcoholic. And I don't know, like maybe, you know, like I've always been kind of neutral on whether. And I have like friends like who are like, why did you quit? You weren't addicted. And that's like, it's an interesting question to me because it's kind of like, I guess when I say that there's something about the narrative of addicts that I find strange, I think what it is it's almost like you have to prove that everything sucks in order to make it better.
Yes.
As opposed to being like, what if I want things to be better?
Yeah.
Right?
Or just different.
Yeah, different.
Yeah. You're
So
like,
anyway.
I don't need to fall apart completely.
Yeah.
Lose all my money for
Right.
this to be like, maybe she should stop.
Totally.
Yeah.
Although I'm in Debtors Anonymous as well.
What's Debtors Anonymous?
It's basically, it's like, have you ever Googled something and like invented it? You know, like you Google it, you know what I mean? Like I was like, is there Alcoholics Anonymous, but for debt? Because what I would do is I would get into a manageable kind of amount of debt.
Okay.
But it would require a heroic effort to get myself out of it. And I did it, I think, twice before I was like, this is a problem and it's not going to get better.
What would you buy?
It wasn't, well, I bought a condo.
That's good.
Right.
Do you
But then
still
I
own
sold
it?
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And because I was in credit card debt. And so to answer your question, I mean, I was dating someone who I think like wanted me to have a lot of money. And so a lot of it, like I remember it was like flights. Oh, I also went to Vegas after, because I used to teach.
Okay.
And I got really bad teaching evaluations one semester. It was my first semester teaching a big section. And I was like,
teaching college?
law school.
Law school.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, and like, you know, I got better at it, but like this semester was like horrific. And I went to Vegas with two of my college friends.
Okay.
And they're big shoppers.
Okay.
And I was like, I just gotta like not feel. And I bought a $2,000 briefcase that I still own.
Hey, that's an investment.
It's not.
How long
it's
ago
really
was
not.
it?
2007.
That's an investment.
I mean,
that's an investment. It's called a legacy piece. That's what it is. I have a few myself. They were $2,000. My cap is
it was on a credit
400.
card. It was on a credit card. Like it was like it wasn't like I had the money. That's the thing. It's like I think it was as much because of the crazy price tag. Like I was like, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And I bought like shoes that were like a lot of money. I like to talk hard numbers because I feel like, I don't know. It's just whatever.
Tell me numbers. I love it.
I don't remember. It's like the pair of shoes that I wear to take out the garbage, literally, at my house because they slip on really nice. They're like loafers.
These are those shoes?
Well, I bought like 3 pairs of shoes.
Okay.
And I don't own all of them still, but one I've like almost thrown them out a few times, and I remember they were probably like $600, but I wear them literally to throw away the garbage.
Well, you gotta have a pair to throw away the garbage.
I know, but like I could have a pair that's like $5.
It's symbolic. You put on these shoes, you walk downstairs, you throw out the trash. This is the old me. You purge it, and then you come back inside, and it's a nice little reminder.
Yeah.
But also, I feel good about the briefcase. I think there's no problem here.
All
yes.
right, fine.
If it's a nice briefcase.
It's fine.
What
it's
is
at the bottom of my closet doing nothing except like reminding me that this happened.
Did you use it while you
No.
were professoring?
I mean, not really.
Is that what you're teaching?
No. Yeah, but like, I mean, not really.
No.
I would use it like I was like, oh, I'm wearing something nice today. Maybe I'll wear that bag.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it doesn't hold anything, and it doesn't have a handle. It's just like a this.
Yeah. You know
Stupid.
what? You know who's gonna love it?
Who?
The person who cleans out your house after you die.
Huh?
That
Maybe.
person is going to be thrilled.
Right.
Because it's going to appreciate in value.
think?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
fine,
What?
sure.
Can I ask the label?
Yeah, Bottega Veneta.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Okay.
You've made an investment. Someone else is going to reap the
Sure.
rewards.
I feel
it's
like-
going to be great.
I feel like if I die before you, you should get it.
Thank you
based
so much.
on this conversation.
I would love it.
Okay.
Please write it in the will. It's official. Caitlin gets the bag.
Yeah. So anyway, but I did that. And so, yeah, like I remember, I mean, I did like a gram of Molly once.
Ooh,
Like,
that's fun.
yeah.
Is that a lot of Molly?
Well, it's interesting. I did like the whole adorable Ziploc.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? They're so cute.
Yes, they are. They hold
And-
one button.
Right,
That's it.
right.
Yeah.
And but like I would do drugs like I don't know, it's like really my entire quest of my life, I think, is like to get to some deeper truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I would do drugs, it was similar to that.
Yeah.
And so I remember I had taken this like screenwriting class
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't go to any of the classes.
Did you bring the briefcase?
wait, I had to no, I didn't.
God
and I
damn,
did
you're
have
really
it.
ruining it.
I know.
You gotta use this case.
I mean, you're making the case for you getting the briefcase because you're like, I have so many places to take it to.
you could use it for so much stuff.
Yeah, totally. I'm going to text you a picture of the.
Please
the-
do.
okay, yeah,
I might buy it off you.
Please, I will give it to you. So
My boyfriend will kill me if I come home with a. I bought a suit. I bought a briefcase, honey. He'll be like, for what? What do you need it for?
It's so
well, I can use my sketch papers. I can put it in there. I
yeah.
can put, yeah.
Right. Oh, because you're a visual artist.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you deserve the briefcase. I might roofie it before.
Oh my God.
Just kidding.
Please make my day. Mama needs a nap.
I know.
So
I love
tired.
anesthesia.
Oh, really?
That's something that I've like noticed since after drugs is like what kinds of experiences feel like drugs.
You're just going to the dentist every other day.
I've asked for gas at the dentist,
Yeah.
and my dentist stopped after COVID with
Oh,
gas, so
okay.
it's like no fun.
Why? Is it?
I guess like the air, you know, right? Like during COVID, it was
I'm
like,
no scientist, but I think funneled gas air is okay.
No, I know, but they said after COVID we couldn't do it anymore. I was like, oh, okay.
I guess you share the mass.
right, maybe. Yeah.
Those pussies.
I know. But I get colonoscopies because one of the preventable deaths in my family is my maternal grandmother died of colon cancer.
Oh wow.
And so now, I get a colonoscopy like more than other people.
Yeah.
And nothing has been wrong, knock on whatever this is, but like
It's plastic.
yeah, good. Knock on that's what Jews do is we knock on plastic.
Oh,
and
good.
so I
Shalom. I don't know. Is that helpful? I don't think-
very always.
Good.
It's never not helpful. So I get colonoscopies, and the thing about a colonoscopy is, and people say this, the nap is amazing.
Yeah.
Like you have to, I don't mind it because it's just pooping, which I love.
You love pooping.
Yeah,
You mentioned
so-
it twice
I
in
know.
this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
So anyway, but drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the gram of Molly
Yeah.
was I took a screenwriting class. I didn't go to any of the classes, but then they were online.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to like stay up all night
Mm-hmm.
and watch all the classes. I'm going to get so good at like downloading the information into my brain from screenwriting class. And I'm going to take this Molly to do it.
Okay.
So I take the Molly. And of course, like 10 minutes in, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I'd like to do anything else
Literally.
than stare at a screen.
Right.
Yes.
But I watched like, 10 minutes. It's like teacher Jacob, and he's like, welcome to screenwriting. And I was like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was it. And I was like, I'm going to take the subway and be the high person and
no.
whatever. And so I went on the subway. I was living in Brooklyn at the time. Go on the subway, got out of Times Square. I was like, whatever. I'll be like walking around. I'm like, for some reason, that drug and wanting to do the screenwriting class, I was just like, I'm going to write my screenplay right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took a pen. I had like paper towels. I'm like writing stuff on paper towels. And so And I get out and like my brain is going, you know? And so I have to stop like every half a minute to like write down everything. And I'm like, this is going to be the screenplay right here. And so anyway, finally at some point I'm like, it's late. I'm going to go back. And then I'm on the platform of the train to go back to Brooklyn. I see a guy walk by. I'm like, that looks like the screenwriting teacher who I had never met except for the 10 minutes that were the beginning of this drug trip. I say his name. I'm like, Jacob? He turns around and it's him.
Oh my God.
Right?
Oh my, I thought you were about to just scare the hell out of some random dude.
So did I. And so I was like, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know how to tell you this, but I took a Ziploc-y full of Molly and you were the last person I saw, but I didn't see you. You were in my screen and like, is this adaptation? And like, am I in the Matrix and what's happening? And he's like, you need to go home, I think.
Yeah.
And so he was very nice. Goes with me on the
God bless
train.
you, Jacob.
Seriously,
God bless you.
right?
Yes.
Right? And so we're on the train and I remember he was like, because I told him everything, right? About like my night. And he's like, you know, I'm just going to put this out there. You don't need to live a crazy life. When you write, the crazy resolves on the page. And I was like, oh, that sounds like it's good. I think I'm going to write it down on this paper towel. And I mean, you know, I don't really know like what. Like a lot of my drug stories, it's like they're not rock bottom. Yeah. Because it's like kind of amazing that moment happened.
It's almost like you were supposed to do Molly in order to meet Jacob
what
and
if
hear
that's
that
true?
thing.
Yeah. So that's okay. So that's the thing is like whenever I hear people talk about like I stopped doing drugs because they were terrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think drugs were amazing.
Yeah.
And that's why I stopped doing them.
Yeah.
You know? Like I stopped because they're too good.
Yeah.
And that in some way kind of makes sense.
Yeah. It makes
right?
sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I see you. Too
Thank
much of
you.
a good thing.
I guess, but I'm not trying to be like that. Like I'm not trying to be like, oh, life is too fun. Let me stop.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also like, I don't know. I think I've always wanted to like take life to a million in some like touch the sun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like figure out my truth. And I feel like, I mean, my therapist of 17 years said to me, she's like, drugs aren't bad in and of themselves. Like she's like, drugs are kind of like a controlled experiment where like you take something and you turn it up and you take another thing and you turn it down and you're kind of like altering your own brain chemistry because you took a thing. And she's like, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. The thing that can be problematic if you're trying to know yourself is when you depend on that in order to be.
Yes.
And so, but that's like more complicated, I feel like, to explain when people are like, but you're not an addict. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
I was very similar with drinking. I
really
would drink all the time, but I would, for the last like 2 years, I wouldn't get drunk all the time. I get drunk once in a while. So no one thought I had a problem. I was just drinking a bunch.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, my therapist was like, well, what if you stop?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't see a life where I don't do this.
Interesting.
And she was like, well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So
right.
It was literally like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this podcast? How am I going to do everything if I don't consume alcohol all the time?
Right.
And so it was just figuring out the balance and why I was drinking. Turns out I'm an anxious person.
Me
Did
too.
you know that, Fonz? I'm an anxious gal.
What do you think you're anxious about?
I catastrophize.
Okay.
I also do all or nothing thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the, well, if it's not perfect, then why even bother?
Oh, interesting.
It's all shit.
Okay, got it. My catastrophe is the roofie stuff.
I
yeah.
see.
Right. Okay, but understood.
Yeah. So I'm also extremely hard on myself.
Okay.
And I'm I work a ton.
Yeah.
And so it's literally drinking.
Right.
And then it's also social. If I don't have something to do with my hand,
sure, and
then make excuses for my behavior, it's like a good excuse for your own behavior.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that was great. I was so drunk. I didn't mean to kiss you on the neck. You know, just like something bizarre.
I did.
Yeah. But but now I don't drink, and I'm like, I can't believe I used to drink like that all the time.
Yeah.
Especially because I used to think I took after my dad, who was like a heavyweight drinker.
Oh, interesting.
He had to stop. He was too good.
Yeah.
He drank a ton. He would be able to drink for hours on end and be fine.
Okay.
He would just get tired and fall asleep. And my mom would have half a sip of tequila and just be like, woo!
Yeah.
I thought I took after my dad.
Yeah.
I stopped drinking for 6 months, had a drink, and I'm like, oh, I'm my mom.
Interesting.
For sure. I just like I just built up my tolerance.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I was blacking out all the time.
Yeah.
But nothing bad would really happen.
Right.
So it was like, well, I figured out how to get home. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
You know? It was like, no, your body is like, no, Kaylin, you're a 2-sip alcohol girl.
Right.
And
right.
I just like forced my body to be more like my dad. But
sure.
I'm my mom.
Yeah.
I'm half a sip of tequila and here's my titty. That is exactly what my mom did on her birthday.
Wow. Happy birthday to everyone else.
I know. Louise, the gift that keeps giving. Oh my God. But yeah, she did. She was like, it was hot. Anyway, I love my mother.
Maybe it was.
It was hot.
Yeah.
After tequila,
admittedly.
everything's hot.
Totally. Yeah. I used to drink tequila too.
Yeah.
And I because of I have OCD in the numbers way. And so it's like, I got to have 4 shots or like 18 of something or whatever, for the numbers
18.
to be. Well, because 18 in Judaism is this like magic number because in Judaism, like in Hebrew, letters have numerical equivalents.
Okay.
And so the word chai means life is comprised of 2 letters, a chet, which is 8, and a yud, which is 10. And a chet is the ch, and the yud is the I. Well, there's a vowel, but then it ends in a Y sound, is 10, 18. Does that make sense?
Great.
Okay. So, so anyway, 18 is a whole to-do.
So you would drink 18 beers? Or?
No, I wouldn't drink. I wasn't much of a beer drinker.
Okay.
But like I definitely have had situations where I've done 18. I did 18 shots of espresso once on a dare with a bartender.
Oh my God. You're lucky you're alive.
You think?
Yeah, that's how you get a heart attack.
Yeah. And that runs in my family.
You should have died 18 times,
Maybe.
I think.
Yeah. Totally. Double a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So now you're nothing. Sober completely.
Well, I mean, I have the coffee.
The coffee.
Right.
Yes.
And sober completely. I mean, Benadryl. I gotta no. Well,
she's gotta live.
Well, I sometimes am allergic to my cat, but I love my cat.
Yeah,
and that's maybe it's a problem. I don't care. He's 16. I love him. Yeah, whatever. Jack.
This is my reality.
Yeah, it's true. We're together.
Yep.
So
we're sold.
But sometimes like my eye'll puff up, and I'm like, it's Jack. That's fine. But I'm like, great. Well, it's also like the end of the night, and I can take 2 Benadryl, and maybe I can sleep in the morning, and that's a good time for me.
Was there a time where you were like 6 years ago where you were like, I gotta stop
Benadryl?
No, drinking, drugs, drinking, all that. What was the turning point where you were like, even though it wasn't bad, you never hit a rock bottom, but you were just like, I gotta make this change?
I mean, the actual day, I remember my now wife, then girlfriend.
Got it.
I was living in Los Angeles at the time. She was in New Jersey. Her apartment flooded and I was stoned. And so she was like calling me. She's like, and it was like a bad flood. Like she had to like move into the model unit like of the building and whatever. It's like pipes burst. Like
oh my God, that's so scary.
Yeah. And like, she was fine. Everything ultimately worked out okay. But it was like a moment. And I remember she called and she's like, hey, this happened. And admittedly, I was across the country, nothing I can do physically.
Yeah.
But I noticed, I was like, I'm not emotionally present to her reality at all right now because I'm stoned. I'm at my friend's house. It was January 3rd. And so I guess like the season of quitting things, arguably.
Yeah.
And so then that was the last time I ever was anything.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want that kind of thing to happen and I'm not there.
Yeah.
And I think also it's like I have a partner who I believe is a really good person. And so I'm constantly, I mean, you have a partner who I think is a really good person.
He's
I think
okay.
you're a really good person. But like a lot of times with Karen, I mean, she's a literal rabbi.
Yeah.
And so there is this element of like she's serving the people and like whatever. And I'm me. And I think I'm okay, but I'm not like that. You know, like she's
Yeah.
kind of like a Mother Teresa sort of vibe.
Yes.
And that moment I was like, I can't be this when she's like that good.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel that way. Steve is very nice and kind and patient.
Right.
I do it with him with comedy.
Okay.
Because he's like, I'll go anywhere. I'll do anything. I don't
Yeah.
care about the money. And
Yeah.
my initial instinct is, how much does it pay?
Yeah.
How
really.
far is it? What
Right.
does it include?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And, but he is
Sure.
very altruistic. And I love
Yeah.
comedy. I just
Yeah.
want to make people laugh. And
Right.
so
Yeah.
I'm trying to be more like him. But at the
Sure.
same time, I'm like, someone's got to pay rent.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't. Now that you've put those two, I don't know what I am. Because I definitely like want to know how much it pays and all that.
Mhm.
But I feel like my leaning more to the Steven side is like, not because I love comedy.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I don't, but I don't know if it's that. It's more
Yeah.
just like, well, I have to do it
Mhm.
because that's like my internal compass must lead me to saying yes, to doing
Yeah.
comedy as opposed to not doing comedy.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it varies.
Yeah.
I also find I have a magic power where I can find the sexism in anything.
Sure.
So it is like I sniff it out. That's
Right,
sexist,
right.
you know, even though
Talent.
it's probably not. But
Yeah.
they're probably just cheap.
Sure.
And, I'm
Sure.
like-
No, but that's great. Yeah.
But it's like spots in the city, I'll do it whatever. Free
Sure.
doesn't matter.
Right,
I don't
right.
care.
Right.
But it's the traveling,
Mhm.
and I've been taken advantage of so many times.
Oh, yeah.
And not paid, and just
Yeah.
like no lodging, stuff like
Right.
that. And I'm like, as a woman, I cannot
Yeah.
do this to myself
Sure.
anymore. It's just not safe. It's
Yeah.
not fair.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm tired of fighting the good fight all the time.
Yeah.
Give me the goods up front, and I will tell you yes or no.
Yeah.
And a lot of time, these guys are like, well, I saw you on TikTok, and you don't have that many followers, so I figured you'd just do it for free. It's like,
Right.
no, that is
Yeah.
not what's going to happen.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. No, that makes sense. Good.
Mhm.
I
But,
mean, yeah.
but he's like, I'll go anywhere, I'll do anything.
Sure.
And I'm like,
Right.
good for you.
Right.
That's nice.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what city he's in right now.
Ha. Huh, huh.
Truly, he left today, and I did not ask. I was
Yeah.
like, bye, I hope you're making money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
yeah.
he is. I think he's opening for Brian this weekend.
Oh, okay.
So he'll
Cool.
be fine.
Yeah.
But
Great.
he said he was in line and he saw Neil Patrick Harris
That's
at
a fun one.
LaGuardia.
Wow.
Yes. And then he
Okay.
was also in line with Al Franken
Okay.
and then Mike Vecchione.
Wow.
It's like, what? Everybody's going to wherever the hell you're going.
The lineup.
I
at-
think it's Minneapolis.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a lineup on that plane.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Who would you,
Hitters.
of those three, who would you be most excited to meet?
Who's the middle one?
Al Franken, the
Oh,
senator
yeah.
/ SNL writer.
Okay. Not.
Correct response.
I don't have anything against it. I'm just being honest. So there are three guys,
Mhm.
and I've just got to be honest that I'm not going to be that excited either way.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know Mike Vecchione personally, really.
Mhm.
He seems like he'd be the most fun to chat with.
Absolutely.
Neil Patrick Harris. I feel like there are some stories about him not being that nice.
Oh,
Wasn't there
really?
something with Rachel Bloom? Am I making that up?
Who's Rachel Bloom?
Crazy
Crazy
Ex-Girlfriend?
Ex-Girlfriend.
I feel like there was a thing.
There was a thing?
It's like,
Look it up,
There's something
Fonzie.
where, like,
Let's find out
she-
the hot gosh.
yeah. And if it's not, then I'm the
Nope,
worst.
we're starting this rumor right now.
It's
Neil
no,
Patrick Harris is a piece of shit.
It's something.
Oh, rude, problematic
Right,
moments.
right, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's something like that.
What did he
Um,
say? Disgusting
oh.
and inappropriate comments about teenage Nick Jonas.
Wow.
Yikes. Oh my goodness. What did he do?
I did love Doogie Howser.
Where he had a corpse of Amy Winehouse meat platter.
What?
Holy shit. Okay, what's the next one? Oh my God.
Why?
Good Lord. He made a meat
Jeez.
platter of Amy Winehouse the
Yep.
Halloween after she died of alcohol poisoning for his party. That's
Okay.
wild.
Yeah.
Okay, that's still about the
Okay.
meat platter.
Right,
Okay, meat
right.
platter.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, unnecessarily rude to Rachel Bloom on Twitter.
Okay. Tweeting about how she talks. How does
Okay.
she talk? Does she talk like a
I don't
weirdo?
know.
Who's a woman in the top hat backstage at the Tony Awards that she says, oh my God,
a lot. I'm kidding. Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay, you're a gay man. You can't really be criticizing.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys.
So some moments.
I love gay men, but your vocabulary is very outlandish.
Sure. Right.
Very creative, I would say.
Right. Well, I was a big Doogie Howser fan.
Okay.
From when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 44.
Okay.
And so I grew up with him as a child actor.
Yes.
And so I like him from that, but I just don't think, I feel like it would be weird,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pick Mike.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, you always want to meet a comic.
Yeah.
Hanging out with a comic is always the best.
Totally.
Well, I didn't know any of that about Neil Patrick
Wow.
Harris. But I feel like if you're famous at a young age, you're going to be fucked up.
Probably.
There's going to be a lot of weird stuff going on.
Unless you have a moment, like I have a friend who was a child actor and like really turned everything in his life around,
Mm-hmm.
like got sober and blah, blah, blah. And like, so I feel like maybe if you have that kind of a moment, Neil Patrick Harris, maybe he's sober. I have no idea, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
He probably doesn't think he needs a moment.
Yeah. Right.
Because he's married, he's got the kids.
He's been working the whole time.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. So he's going to be a dick forever.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably.
Well, that's good to know. I'm glad Steve didn't say hi. He was like, should I go say hi? And I was like, absolutely not. Do not bother this man. He's wearing a mask.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. One time, it was the first time I was ever, because of points, upgraded to first class.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was like, okay, like, because I do a thing where if I'm really excited about something, I'm like, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And so I already was talking myself down about like, it's going to be fine. It's just a bigger chair, whatever. I go to 2D. And right next to me is Wesley Snipes. And I was like, first class is amazing.
Yeah.
And he was extremely nice.
Yeah.
Very open. We were both wearing maroon.
Twinsies.
Yeah. And I guess it's like, he was like, that's a very spiritual color.
Oh.
I remember. And so we talked about like his spiritual practice. I have a thing where I find fortunes on the ground. I found like over 150 of them, like fortunes from fortune cookies while just like walking. Yeah, it's pretty fun. And so it makes me feel like God is talking to me.
Okay.
Like through the trash.
All right.
basically.
And numbers and trash.
Yeah,
You're getting a lot of communication.
Yeah. Do I sound insane?
No.
Okay.
No.
All
We
right.
started off with roofies in your own coffee mug.
All right, fine.
We're
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
What if I
Could you
roofied
imagine?
it
I was like,
myself?
that was it. Get out. Get out.
So anyway, but I remember I had just started finding them, and there was a moment in the conversation that he was like talking about, I think he said something like good fortune, and I was like, Wesley. And I remember like I had like 9 of them at that point. I was just starting to notice the pattern, and I was like, I found these. Would you like one? And he took one of them. I think it was something about like you'll make really good friends or something. And we had that moment. That's all.
I can't believe you were like, do you want this fortune
did.
trash
Yes.
that I found on the floor? And
I mean, it was like an hour in.
put it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's an open-minded man.
It seems so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an angel with wings.
He was really nice.
That's
and we
great.
did sleep together.
Wow, you had sex.
We had a
oh my goodness.
Gay except
no
for
more.
Wesley Snipes.
If you're going to make an exception.
I know, right?
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Top of the food chain.
I think,
Holy heck.
But we took a nap,
Okay.
together.
Held
Yeah.
hands?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I was sleeping. He might have held my hand.
Okay. All
Never
right.
know.
Go with that truth.
Yeah.
Write a screenplay about it.
If only
Well-
I could get some Molly.
I know, right? Well, we're here, baby.
We're queer.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How did that reading rainbow?
So it wasn't good. So
Okay.
I really wanted, I asked to be like, can I not go to school? So I took the day. I went to this audition. It was like in a boardroom with other children.
Okay.
And I remember they asked, what's your favorite color? That was your question. And so I said blue. And I really as a kid, I didn't understand that like saying more was okay. It was kind of like, I just said blue. That was the truth.
Yeah.
I don't need to say anything else.
Yes.
And so that was all I said, which is a bad idea if you're auditioning for something. And
How old were you?
6.
You idiot.
I know.
The dumbest 6-year-old on the planet.
Well,
I can't believe you didn't know to elaborate.
I mean, but then there was this guy, like, across the boardroom table, and they were like, what's your favorite color? And he was like, orange. And here's why. And da-da-da. And I was like, oh, that's what I was supposed to do. And so it was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had, like, other situations like that. Like, I remember I interviewed for a school, like, for 1st grade, and part of it was like, I grew up with a lot of lies in my family. Like, here's this truth about us and you don't tell anybody else.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Like, my dad was a cab driver, and this was like a huge family secret.
Oh, why? Is that bad? Is it bad?
No,
to be a cab
it's
driver?
fine. There's literally nothing wrong with it, but like, even now saying it, like, it's fine. And I've like said it. And I, in my mind, I'm like, this is something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Like, you work really hard. You like figured out a way to provide for your family. But my parents were sending me to private school in Manhattan.
I see.
And like, that was my dad's job because he was a real estate broker, and there was a recession in the early 90s and like whatever. And so anyway, so it's like this, I had a lot of that kind of stuff growing up where it's like, this is what we know, and you don't tell anybody else.
Got it.
And so I was constantly, like, my grandparents are Holocaust survivors. So the idea, I think, was passed to my parents of like, listen, if somebody asks a question, you say the minimum and shut up. And so I was like, blue. And that's all you know, my lawyer has advised me to not say anything further. And then this guy, you know, a child, was like, his favorite color was orange because he really loves basketball. And it was like, honestly, I still remember his answer.
Yeah.
Because it was gorgeous. And I was like, orange is a great color. And like, I love your answer. And I want you to be on Reading Rainbow, which he probably was.
You don't know if he was?
I don't remember specifically.
I bet he wasn't.
Really?
So I bet nothing you could have done would have made a difference.
They just weren't hiring that day.
You just got to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
And your favorite color's blue.
Ha! It
and
is.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah, thanks.
That is enough.
See, I feel
Glazer.
like you're being the kind of trainer that I need.
Oh, I see.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't pussyfoot around. I need you to choke me.
Oh.
If you want abs, you got to breathe again.
I think I could choke you with the briefcase.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I would love the briefcase.
I think the handle will do it.
I mean, I got to see this bag. Please send me a picture.
I
will put it
will.
on the Instagram.
Oh, great. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Well, where can people find you, Liz?
Well, my address, no. DearLizGlazer.com is my website.
Great.
And at Liz Glazer on anything to find me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing the pod.
Duh.
Up top. We did it.